Right, okay. Hello, everybody. My name's Jonathan Boyle. I'm a teacher of technology at Madeley Academy. I've been teaching now for 30 years. I know you'll find that very hard to believe, but it's true. 30 years ago when I started, it was at Thomas Telford School. Then I went to Walsall Academy and then I came to Madeley Academy, and I've set up 3 different departments also in design and technology. So we've got a good track record. My background, I've been a Gatsby Technology Teacher of the Year and was a Gatsby Fellow from London Lord Sainsbury for 8 years in a row, 1999 Teacher of the Year, and 2002 a Teacher of the Year with the government. In fact, I got to go to number 10 and have the poshest sandwiches I've ever eaten in my life to celebrate design and technology activity in schools up and down the country as well. I've been lucky enough to be in the forefront of web development in the past and CD-ROM development, and I very much enjoyed bringing out a series of CD-ROMs, 7 video-based CD-ROMs for CAD/CAM technology. And those teachers who are out there also remember the likes of Pro Desktop and 2D design tools. We did all that, and now we work with SpaceClaim. CD-ROMs weren't as popular in the UK as they were around the world, so my work took me as far as Russia to go out and tour around Russia in CAD/CAM about what we do in design and technology. And I can say we're very lucky in this country indeed, and they were brilliant to take on board the CAD/CAM Cookies series of CD-ROMs over in different parts of the world. We've also done some good books over the years for D&T. The most recent one that I've been very much involved in, and if you're doing design technology now at GCSE, I hope you've all got a copy of this one. This is a smashing book, the best read you'll probably have in design technology, full of lovely pictures in there. So please get yourself a copy of GCSE Design and Technology from Daydream Education. I'm sure you're going to enjoy that one. We also talk about being the technology correspondent for the Times newspaper for many years, from 2000, looking at the latest technology that we bring into schools, and also worked for several years for the Guardian newspaper, writing their articles as well, but mainly in the Times Education newspaper. Very exciting work was done on a television series on Sky some years ago. We had a series on technology, and I love being at the forefront of technology where you can identify the right kind of kit for schools to take up, and that was a successful program we had there as well. But if you do this project, if you do this course in A-level design technology here with us, there will be an exciting array of things to do. You will be full on. We don't mess about on the subject. We cover it all and in depth and have lots of fun as well. Our approach is design for the real world. Yes, it is hard. You do cover the syllabus in full, and you will do some examinations in it. The examinations are quite tough, but we start working on them early. You'll have plenty of time to get your head around the styles of questions that you're likely to be asked. There are 2 papers. One of them is going to be 2.5 hours long at the end of the course, and the other will be 1.5 hours long. The first one's going to test everything you want to know about the science of materials, the range of materials, and already, you're probably already, if you're looking at design technology, polymers, woods, metals, composite materials, all those kinds of things that get you excited around the world because these materials are around you all of the time. That exam's about 2.5 hours long. If you're into the style of things and you travel somewhere and you look at things and you admire them, so you look at the Apple iPhone, for example, yeah, it's okay, but you might prefer the Samsung phone, or you might prefer an LG television set, the way it looks. Well, that's tested in a second paper, and that's about 1.5 hours long. But I tell you this, both papers, despite them being hard and challenging, are exciting. And I am still excited about my subject, even at the age of 31. So bear with me and look forward to a glorious future in design and technology activity. So we spoke about the papers, and the papers are worth 50% of the whole A-level. So it makes sense that during the week, you'll do about 50% of the theory and 50% of coursework, making something. Because what you make gives you 50% of the marks as well. And when I talk about making things, we're looking at designing and making things that actually suit the needs of people. We need to design for the real world. You will make things that are commercially viable. We've got students in our past that we are still in touch with now who've gone on to do great things in architecture. A student who sponsors our department in this country, this is sheer chance, just happened to bump into him walking along the street in Russia, in Moscow on the time. He recognized him, we came up to each other. He's sponsored this department ever since. His business is based in Estonia. He remembered his design technology experience and went on to become an engineer, and successfully is. He's got his own aircraft company based in Estonia, and he's got other subsidiary companies around the world. But he's not the only one. 2 years ago, we had a student who decided to make an electric go-kart, and we got in touch with Channel 4, the downhill races, and that go-kart that he designed, it went 35 miles an hour. It was an incredible thing to behold. It's amazing what you can do with battery technology because there was no fuel involved. It had to be a lean, green machine. Fortunately, we have the facilities to be able to assist on site and get specialist facilities where we need them. So not only did we make small, we also make big. I want you to come and work with me at Madeley Academy because we are a centre of excellence. We don't do things by halves. We do things so that we know they can actually make a difference to your life, my life, and the life of everyone in this community. There's no reason why not. I'm going to show you a couple of examples of some work that students have done recently. If I take, for example, this is, you might be able to see that on camera. It just looks like an interesting shape on there. It's made from a very exciting polymer that will biodegrade over time. It's called polylactic acid. It's been made on an exciting 3D printer. Now, from this kind of distance, you can't really tell what it's going to do. But if I get the product out, this is what the student made, and it holds either mobile phones or calculators. Now, he also did some work on heraldic shields. He's machined this out of 3-axis machining in solid oak. We can actually cut things out on huge 3-axis machines. We've also got a 4-axis one as well, and integrate any 3D prints that we've made. So that's great to go. It's commercially viable. He made lots of different types, and that was quite exciting. Let's look at another example now. Here's a real-world example. This is one that a student made for the army. Now, you and I might be able to relate to this. This is one whereby your shoes sometimes get a little bit sweaty. And if they do, what do you need? You need an anti-sweat machine. This device here, I sound like something from JML that you see in Wilco. These little designs here go inside, and because it's solar powered, yes, powered by the sun, it's that big yellow thing in the sky, it causes an electric current to flow and the air to flow through here to draw out any moisture-rich content to keep your shoes lovely and dry. I want one. Everybody wants one. You want one. I know you do. Let's look at another product now. This is a robot. This robot has been designed to draw out mathematical answers. Believe it or not, there's an awful lot of Wi-Fi technology in here, programmable logic controller, and if you do the maths on screen, it will draw out the answers for you. Now, that was a challenge, and I know it was because I designed this. I had such fun with it recently, I had to share it with you. But the exciting thing about this was a special pen lift mechanism, so that when it drives around the floor over a big piece of paper, it would lift the pen up out the air, off the paper and put it down accurately. So you got lovely geometric shapes on the paper. That was exciting. Let me look at another one. I bet you've all got laser cutters in your school, and you've seen laser cutters all around the place. But do you ever look at designers such as the design house of Lacey? This here is a project that we do with our Year 8 students. So all we've got is a very simple piece of polymethyl methacrylate. We've laser cut it, otherwise known as acrylic, by the way. We've laser cut it and then heated it up over a mold. Look at that. It's great for apples and bananas. You can take it home, put in some soft rolls, you're good to go. Everyone will think it's fantastic, and it's about £80 less than the original, so it's good value for money too. Let's look at something else. This is an A-level project that a student did in his first year. This is for people who unfortunately have memory problems but want to listen to a radio. So on this set, it was using a lovely piece of natural timber, and we've machined it out of a solid piece of timber and also put the electrics in the back of electronics, a simple dial to turn and an on-off button and a volume. So people feel comfortable when they're listening to the radio. But that took an awful lot of work by the student to do. Primary research, secondary research, and also the skills to understand how to manufacture using X, Y, and Z coordinates on 3D CAD-CAM machines. If you're into your CAD-CAM and you want to integrate something, this is a little boat. This little boat's not for me, it's for young children. But on there, you might be able to see a little flash of blue. That's got a heat-sensitive piece of paper. It's thermochromic film, actually, and when it goes on hot water, not only can the child play with it, it will detect straight away and change colour if the water's too warm, because nobody wants to have somebody who's got water temperature too high for someone to get into. What a clever design. Put it in hot water, it changes colour. It's a useful design.
Just to give you your 1 minute warning, Jonathan.
Okay, I'll do this in 10 seconds. We can also cast in metal. We've got the software we use at the Royal Mint. This is a negative and a positive mould. So whereas something like this would normally be made thick, this huge and beautiful ornate cast is actually 1 millimetre thick only. There's just some of the reasons why you want to come to Madeley Academy and be a designer like me. I look forward to seeing you soon.